Lemonade!
8-year-old Johnny Karlinchak started a lemonade stand to earn as much money as possible, but not for himself. Johnny donates all the profits to neighbor Elisa Myers. A 150-foot oak tree destroyed Miss Myers' home in a derecho storm, and Johnny was the first in line to help.
When Johnny came in with 6 quarters, or 5 quarters, and from his piggy bank, I said, I can't believe that you would do this. And I cried and I hugged him, and he kind of pushed me away in his little formal way, and he said, I'm just getting started. I'll be back.
Johnny has kept his promise and earned over $800 in just 3 weeks for the Miss Myers Rebuilding Fund. Why is Johnny so dedicated?
Because our sister Kelly died in a car accident, and all the neighbors helped us out.
Kelly died when Johnny was just 3.5 years old, and Johnny has not forgotten the love and support his family received during the tragedy. Donna Karlinchak, Johnny's mom, also recalls how Miss Myers not only participated in, but led the community effort.
They brought us the dinners. They helped us build the playground by donations. They would come and sit with me. There was always somebody here from the neighborhood that would come in and sit with our family.
I think it is healing when you're able to reach out and connect to the rest of humanity. And I don't know how he knows that at 8 years old. I don't know how he's figured that out.
Life has thrown Johnny lemons, but he works through the grief by helping others. For the small price of just 50 cents a glass, he's outpouring hope into the community. I'm Jenna Dagenhart, CBS News, Washington. This morning, in an unexpected 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court ruled that the Affordable Care Act is constitutional. Chief Justice John Roberts, a conservative, cast the surprising pivotal vote to help Obama's law survive. Tom Goldstein, a respected Supreme Court blogger, explains.
That a Republican conservative comes in and provides the decisive vote and writes the opinion upholding the single most important achievement of a Democratic president in an election year is history-making.
Roberts' key ruling kept the mandate alive by calling the penalty for those refusing to buy health insurance a tax that Congress has the right to impose using its taxing power.
He said, I'm going to look for a way to uphold the statute, and he found it in the backup argument of the government.
Roberts angered Republicans when he upheld Obama's law. But many legal experts believe the Chief Justice also performed a conservative judicial act. He declared the mandate's requirement for everyone to buy health insurance an overreach of Congress's power to regulate commerce.
What surprised me was that we could win on our Commerce Clause challenge and then lose on the Affordable Care Act.
Randy Barnett, a law professor at Georgetown University, predicts that this monumental day in healthcare history will also determine the legacy that Chief Justice Roberts leaves.
There was tremendous pressure brought to bear on him that I think should not have been brought to bear on him after the case was submitted. But whether he actually buckled under that pressure is something only time and history will tell.
The reputation of Chief Justice Roberts depends on whether he acted on principle or on pressure. I'm Jenna Dagenhart, CBS News, the Supreme Court. Eitan Pates, among the first missing children to be pictured on a milk carton, revolutionized how parents viewed their children's safety. When Pates disappeared just 2 blocks from home, the country began fearing for its children.
I think the abduction of Eitan Pates represented an end of an era of innocence. I think it sent a chill through the populace, and I think it made parents think, there but for the grace of God, go my child.
Ernie Allen is the president of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, an agency set up in response to that chill. Before the Pates case and the 1981 Florida murder of Adam Walsh, police took 48 hours to respond to reports of missing children.
Eitan was a catalyst for the creation of a coordinated national system so that today when a child disappears, police take an immediate report, there is immediate distribution of a child's photo and information.
Before Pates disappeared, there was no Amber Alert system on the interstate, no America's Most Wanted television show, no missing children photos posted at Walmart, not even a national database for missing children.
I don't think it was on the country's radar. And I think it took an horrific story like this, which shook people to the core, to wake up a nation.
Even though Pates never returned home to his parents, other families experience Pates' legacy when they are reunited with their lost children. In 1990, only 62% of missing children came home. Today, that rescue rate has climbed to 99%.
To do what we agree
Today,
on.
President Obama defended his plan to prevent a tax hike for 98% of Americans. He called on Congress to pass a one-year extension of the Bush-era tax cuts to all households earning less than $250,000 and to all individuals making less than $200,000. The cost to the government would be $150 billion.
I just believe that anybody making over $250,000 a year should go back to the income tax rates we were paying under Bill Clinton. Back when our economy created nearly 23 million new jobs, the biggest budget surplus in history, and plenty of millionaires to boot.
The president wants to lower the budget deficit and stimulate the economy, starting with the middle class.
The Republicans say they don't want to raise taxes on the middle class. I don't want to raise taxes on the middle class. So we should all agree to extend the tax cuts for the middle class. Let's agree to do what we agree on. Right?
But Republicans disagree, saying Obama's proposal will still hurt small businesses and hinder job creation by imposing heavy taxes. The president argues that 97% of small businesses will benefit from the tax cut extension. I'm Jenna Dagenhart, CBS News, the White House. David Weiss, a 20-year-old cancer survivor, is not afraid of the Supreme Court's ruling tomorrow on Obama's Affordable Care Act. 3 of the nation's top 5 health insurers say no matter what the court rules, they will uphold the under 26 provision covering young adults between the ages of 19 and 26. David says his cancer treatments would be more than $200,000 out of pocket.
If I didn't have insurance, I wouldn't have been able to go to college. Probably would have had to move. It would have been just a prohibitive cost. That's a lot of money for anyone, son of a single parent.
Big insurance companies want to keep the provision because it builds customer loyalty and wins over parents. The costs of coverage are low and the benefits are high.
These benefits are baked in, they're priced in, they're popular, they've been well received, they're popular politically on a bipartisan basis. And
Mike
again,
Tuffin, a former insurance industry lobbyist, predicts that even if the court throws out the Affordable Care Act, other insurers will keep some of the more popular provisions like free preventative care.
It's the smart thing to do, and it's also the right thing to do.
David tells us why he appreciates the provision.
It changed my life by having insurance. I can continue. I don't have to necessarily worry about all these prohibitive costs. I can go throughout life knowing that I'm treated, or at least until I'm 26.
As tension builds in Washington leading up to the Supreme Court's decision, young adults like David are not nervous. 3.1 million young Americans have already benefited from the under 26 provision, and many more will continue to enjoy its security. I'm Jenna Dagenhart, CBS News, Capitol Hill.